sexist ranch house.
Ignited by a spark of modern feminism.
But I should be out there working, and I should go on the cattle drive.
She's the maid, not a cowboy, and she shouldn't be out there doing our job and getting in our way.
And fueled by a hearty dose of testosterone.
First thing to be cowboys, you have to have balls.
They all are sexist bastards, every single one of them.
It's going to take character and guts to experience how the West was done. Coming up on Texas Ranch House.
Texas, 1867. This is the true story of 15 brave men and women who traveled back in time, daring to live as the early cowboys and ranchers did over 130 years ago. These modern-day adventurers will endure 2.5 months of heat and hardship, a test of true grit. But do they have what it takes to succeed on Texas Ranch House?
Funding for Texas Ranch House is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Texas, an unforgiving land baked by a scorching sun. In 1867, the Civil War was over. Texas and the South were in economic ruin. But for the bold and the brave, there were big profits to be had. Millions of longhorn cattle had been left to breed unchecked during the war years. They roamed the plains free for the taking. Homesteads like these, abandoned during the war, were ready to be transformed. Adventurous entrepreneurs bought them, often sight unseen, to turn them into working ranches. In a few days, a family will move into this ranch house. Their team of cowhands are about to arrive.
What do you think, Baldy? Huh? What do you think there? Get that ranch house down there.
Stan Johnston, a 56-year-old retired Army colonel from New Mexico, will be ranch foreman. In the era of Reconstruction, as the country began to recover from the ravages of war, many former soldiers like Stan were looking for employment and new opportunities. As foreman, Stan's job will be to manage a crew of 6 cowboys and their cook.
It's going to be a great adventure, but there's also going to be some very trying times. We're going to be tired, we're going to be hot, we're going to be dirty, we're going to be thirsty. And that's when you really got to reach down inside of yourself and grab just a little bit more. So if you're doing your job, what you're supposed to do, I think it'll be a great situation.
Stan has already met his crew at a training camp to prepare them for the challenge ahead. First to arrive is Johnny Ferguson, 21, from England.
I think I'll be good. I'm going to show these Americans what a real cowboy is.
Hey,
How was your ride in?
it was good.
Well, I'm glad you found this place. Maybe with luck we can make our fortune.
With luck.
Top of the day, my friends. Top
Yeah.
of the day to you.
Joining him will be 22-year-old Ian Roberts from Arizona.
It's one of those things that, like, you dream about as a little boy. Like, you want to be a paleontologist or a scuba diver. You want to be a cowboy.
Anders Heinz, 24, originally from Sweden.
I didn't have the opportunity to grow up in America, and I think that cowboying in the West is much like this American heritage.
Jared Ficklin, 30, from Texas.
I really think that if I can get through this and do very well, I mean, that's going to help me for the rest of my life.
And 19-year-old Sean Terhune from Vermont.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a cowboy. It's gonna be awesome.
Ignacio Quiles, 52, from New York, will be their cook.
I hope they like my food.
Howdy, Nacho.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
All right, a little hungry? I'm making some grub.
Howdy, howdy.
Robbie Cabezuela, 35, from Texas, is a USDA meat inspector. As El Segundo, the foreman's top hand, he carries the tradition of the Mexican cowboys, or vaqueros, who were skilled riders and cattlemen.
I'm very proud of my Mexican heritage. The best thing about being a vaquero to me, I think, it'd be the heritage, the understanding of where you come from.
In fact, early Anglo ranchers borrowed all the tools of the trade from Mexicans, who had raised livestock in the region since the early 1700s.
Taking the pride that I do in trading my horses and working my cattle and roping and things like that. So yes, I would consider myself a vaquero.
With all the cowboys arrived, Sean explores their new living quarters. Homeschooled in rural Vermont, he grew up with 7 siblings. Good preparation for bunkhouse life.
I love people. Most of the time I get along with just about anybody really well. I'm easygoing, good-natured most of the time, even when I'm overtired.
I set my stuff down here.
That's good, yeah. This can take you. What's that?
It's like flour.
Johnny and Sean discover some surprising items in their supplies.
Crotch powder.
Oh,
man! I don't want to waste it.
Whoa.
That's to prevent the cheese.
The bunkhouse could be a rowdy place. Traditionally, it was built some distance from the ranch house to ensure privacy for the ranch owner and his family. With his elevated status as foreman, Stan has his own room in the ranch house. At the bunkhouse, Nacho starts to prepare his first meal.
Big howdy.
Yeah.
Pass me that tin right there.
Yes?
If you can.
This is all foreign stuff to me, sir.
Right. It'll come through.
The cook, or cocinero, was arguably the most important member of the cowboy crew. Without good and plentiful food, work would grind to a halt.
This is why you watch out for the cook.
In his 21st century life, Ignacio, or Nacho, is a chef at the Institute of Culinary Education in Manhattan. But Nacho wasn't always so fortunate. In the 1990s, he was homeless for several years.
You know, it's a funny thing how to deal with the time period of 1867. It's kind of very similar to during the time in which when I was homeless. You know, I didn't really have a stove, so you kind of like have to wing it on your own.
For Jared, a self-described computer geek, living in 1867 is a chance to find out how his Texas ancestors might have lived.
All right, so this is my great-great-great-great-grand-uncle, Ben Ficklin, who lived a very good life. He is best known as the founder of the Pony Express, and in 1867, he came to Texas to set up a freight line from San Antonio to El Paso.
There's your bunkhouse. There's someplace in there for you. Welcome aboard. Get your stuff squared away. Find your books.
Unlike the Hollywood image, cowboys were usually tender in age, often as young as 16. Many were of Mexican descent. After the Civil War, their ranks were swelled with freed slaves, drifters, and even failed outlaws.
When you came in, you looked around the corrals and stuff. You done it, Robbie?
They came in search of steady wages, even a chance to strike it rich. Our 21st century men have come to fulfill different dreams. When training for the project began 2 weeks ago, many of them had only ridden horseback on trail rides. Few of them had ever worked with Cabot.
Starting to feel just a tiny bit like a cowboy, and it's really cool.
Stan has had little time to knock his greenhorn crew into shape.
From left to right. Count up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Uneven number. Move. 2 steps. Move.
Well, obviously, you spend 32 years in the military, and a lot of those things carry over into your personal life.
At my command, get home.
And you have to be demanding of people and have to ensure that what they're doing is the correct way of doing it and the safe way of doing it.
I got a part in here, I don't know if you'll ever read it yet, but it's called Responsibilities. And let me tell you what my responsibilities are.
Stan goes over his duties with his cowboys, reading from his Texas Ranch House Handbook, a guide to the foreman's role in 1867.
Your goal is to build a
herd of healthy cattle and drive it to market with the aid of your vaqueros or cowboys. Your primary job is to manage the ranch crew, the consignero, the vaqueros, and the wrangler. As the head of the crew, you may assign the roles and tasks as you deem necessary. Get to know them well. Your aim must be to build a harmonious and strong team. You should aspire to gain their admiration and trust.
But Stan does not seem to have the admiration of all his men.
Hold off on that, Nacho. You're next here.
No, it's okay. Let him go.
Nacho, you're next. Go ahead.
Yeah, you what? Okay, it's cool. You're what the Texans come to call a remittance man, the second son of a wealthy British squire.
While Stan gets to know his crew, a suburban California family prepares for their journey back to the 19th century.
You ready for me to fire up the barbecue, dear?
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you.
Bill Cook and his wife Lisa will become the ranch owners. A hospital controller, Mr. Cook oversees a large financial operation. His challenge will be to turn the ranch into a profitable cattle business.
Don't know what it's going to be, but it doesn't matter to me because it's a business. Is what I've learned about all this. It's just like running a business, and I've been doing that my whole life. So it's just a matter of what the elements of the business are and how many people you need to do it.
Lisa Cook is a homemaker and mother of 3 teenage daughters. Vienna, age 19, Lacey, age 17, and Hannah, age 14.
There is some trepidation on my part because I have prompted the entire family to get involved with this, and so I feel some responsibility that it be a positive experience. But to me, it's a wonderful chance to have a bonding time, have a time where we go on an adventure together before any of them leave the house.
Go! Oh, it's overhead! She's going to second!
Pickle, pickle, pickle!
I think our family is different from other families because we have a very good set of morals that we follow. We have early curfews. We haven't experienced anything like drugs or alcohol. We haven't done anything like that.
Do you want me to get Benny? No, I got him. Okay.
Joining the Cooks is 25-year-old Maura Finkelstein, who will serve as the family's girl of all work. An anthropology graduate student from Chevy Chase, Maryland, she has yet to fully understand what's in store for her on the ranch.
There's a possibility that I might be out working with cattle, working with horses, fixing fences, doing what I perceive to be ranch work. But I also know that there's a very good chance that I'm going to be inside, cooking, cleaning, doing massive amounts of laundry for all the ranch hands.
As all Texas cattlemen have done since 1848, Mr. Cook must register an original brand to prove legal ownership of the cattle he will claim. The brands of large ranch operators became widely known and regarded with the same feeling of pride as a coat of arms.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm here. I want to register a brand.
Okay. Have you registered brand before?
No, I haven't done that.
First of all, what is your brand that needs to be registered?
The CR.
Okay.
A brand was the most reliable way for a rancher to keep track of his herd out on the open range.
To make sure that there's not one already similar. Yes. Okay, looks good.
Thank you very much for your help.
And here's your certificate. Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
and y'all have a good day.
Take care.
Official. All right.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The Cook family will soon arrive, and the cowboys are busy preparing the ranch house.
We're all gonna die.
With the stagecoach packed and ready to go, they finally begin their journey with Maura to their 10,000-acre spread on the Texas frontier.
Well, it's kind of a housewarming gift from the Cowboys. There were no door handles on this door or on that armoire over there. So we don't have much. We're cowboys, it's a simple life, and we don't have much here anyway. So we tooled some leather, and we've decided we can spare 4 shoe nails, and we're kind of making them make life just a little nicer for them.
Had to rebuild this bed. We got this rock on it. We soaked it. We soaked this bed because it was just all askew. So we put water on it, soaked it, put this big rock on there, hoping to get that squared away.
Stan's got his work cut out for him. Besides getting the ranch ready for the owner, the existing corral needs to be extended to hold 19 horses arriving in 3 days' time. Without horses, the ranch cannot function. Stan orders the cowboys to dig post holes for the corral. The work is back-breaking. The earth baked dry by temperatures regularly over 100 degrees. He wastes no time in asserting his authority.
Johnny.
Yeah?
Grab your water.
Why?
You might need it over here. You might get thirsty. Come on.
We're doing this.
I need your help over here.
But this is a two-man job. We actually can't do this by ourselves.
Johnny, I need your help over here.
Yeah, Johnny.
Now, I've had a few minor fracases with Stan. He's got a very strong personality. Great.
Johnny is the product of a British boarding school and played polo for his university.
I have quite a forceful characteristic in me as well, which means I'm not just going to do what people say. I don't want to follow blind orders. I want a reason behind them.
In the 19th century, wealthy English families often sent their younger sons to America to make their own way in the world.
Now put some weight behind it, buddy.
Yeah, I've just been quite busy all day.
Maybe take your water off, set it down over here, so you don't have it on your shoulder.
The water's not too heavy, to be honest.
Well, it all adds up, so I'm trying to tell you. You don't believe that, huh?
I just want to get it dirty.
Here, let me have your water, John. Take your water off. Okay? Hang it right over here. That way it's not in your way.
Yeah.
Okay? Makes work easier.
I don't think that's really fair, to be honest.
How's that?
Well, I just spent 2 hours making that table.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, it's quite nice to finish a job without...
Those guys spent 2 hours digging fence posts. What do you think's harder?
Well, I don't think you realise how hard it is to cut a piece of wood. Or for, I don't know, 2 hours
Yeah.
non-stop.
Don't thought so far away, son. Like I was telling him out there, we don't get to do what we want to do. We do what needs to be done. Like there's a hell of a lot better things I'd rather be doing than raking and hauling rocks. But it's got to be done.
I just think it kind of shows a bit of lack of respect to not let me finish the job I was doing and then give me no leeway at all, which I don't think is a good way to lead people, to be honest. But I'm going to go with it for a while and see if he changes.
Some of the guys thought, well, it's getting too hot to work. Well, it's not too hot to work. You can get a couple of guys out there doing post holes 2 at a time and then send another 2 out there and another 2 out there, and it's not too hot to work. I know it's not too hot to work.
Eventually, the day's hard labor comes to an end.
Can't believe that I'm finally here with all the guys and we're about to start this crazy, incredible adventure.
Hopefully we'll get to start riding horses here soon, because so far it's just been work.
It's been a pretty intense day, to be honest. I'm feeling pretty shattered.
Hey, the colonel left those tools there. They were left outside.
The hard work meant that most 19th century cowhands retired in their late 20s. As they bed down for the night, our cowboys begin to consider some of the hazards they face.
I do have fear of being out there and something happening, and it's an environment that if you go down by yourself miles away, that could be it. But I've got trust and faith that we'll all make this through.
You know what the word they call it out here? They call it try. I have the try to make it all the way, so I will do my best.
Today, the Cook family will arrive. Anticipation grows as the cowboys scramble to clean up the ranch.
There's still a lot of work to do, but we're just about there. Got some cold water for them. And of course, down at the bunkhouse, they've been doing a lot. But I'm excited about the family coming in. I'm real excited about them coming in. I'm not too nervous. And I guess I'm not nervous because I know that this place looks a lot better than it did.
Nacho is busy preparing a welcome meal to share with the ranch owner and his family.
Well, they're going to basically eat what we eat, but we're going to try to make a salad today also, because the garden is actually giving us some produce, so we're actually happy.
Yeah, I'm going to miss being by myself to a degree, but no, that'll change when they get here. It'll just have to, because it's his house, and I'm just kind of staying in it.
Most of us are hoping there's going to be some ladies. I'm expecting middle-aged guy, his wife, couple of kids, probably younger than everyone's been dreaming about. But I don't really know. Regardless, I'm just going to give myself a little tune-up here just to be on the safe side in case there are any young does.
In 1867, the stagecoach would have been Mr. Cook's only means of transporting his family across Texas. Departing from a stagecoach station in San Antonio, their journey of over 500 miles would have taken more than a week.
Somehow I think we're gonna die.
It was an uncomfortable and dangerous ride. Stages often traveled with outriders to protect them from hostile Native Americans and bandits. The cowboys keep a vigil for the family.
Who's got the best set of eyes? Who's got the best set of eyes?
We got 2 of them.
I can see the ranch. How do you? Yes.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, there is. You guys, I see it.
When we came around and we saw the ranch out in the distance, I was like, that's our ranch. Oh, look at the ranch. Look at the ranch. I can't see. Oh, my word. Oh, there it is.
Okay, boys, grab that cart. Let's go meet them.
Stagecoaches drop passengers at designated points along their routes. The Cook family will have to walk the last mile to the ranch.
There it is. What do you think, babe?
It's huge.
Dangerous. I'm looking for a gentleman named Stanley.
That'd be me, sir, Stan Johnston.
Bill Cook.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Pleasure to meet you.
Stan.
Welcome. How was your trip?
Very nice, thanks. Think you'd give us a hand getting some of our stuff up?
You bet we will, sir. You bet
All right.
we will. You got a parcel of folks here.
Yes,
How do
I
you
do.
do, ma'am? Stan Johnston.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Well, you all got quite a bit of stuff up there on the stage?
We do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use all the help we can get.
Well, let me get you all
Take
up to
your
the
time.
house, and we'll start getting it up here. How's
Okay,
that?
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Robbie, would you...
Hello.
Stan fails to introduce his crew to the family.
When the family first arrived, we were sort of passed by as the Cook family, and as us guys crossed down the road, there weren't really any formal introductions.
Hope you all will join us for supper.
Here it is, girls.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I'm impressed. I'm blown away.
You can sit down here in the shade.
All right.
And then the kitchen is down here on the far right. And then there's a bedroom back here in the back.
Okay.
And then my room's back over here on the right, back behind the kitchen.
The Cook family will be living in relative luxury. A 5-room adobe with a covered patio and front porch will be their home for the next 2.5 months.
Oh my word. Oh, it's huge. I'm really, really excited about being the rancher's wife. Oh, what a wonderful, cool place. Look at the bathtub.
A wash basin.
This would be like a living room. I am really excited about setting up household and making life good for the men who are going to go out, do their thing, and come home exhausted and tired. I would not want to be in their shoes. I'm relying on this. I think it's Texas Ranch House 1867. Let's find out what I have to do.
As mistress of the ranch, Mrs. Cook will manage the domestic work of her daughters and her girl of all work, Maura. Traditionally, ranch wives would also work to nurture harmony within the entire ranch community.
All hands on deck.
It's not going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a feeling that my challenge will be not being perceived as the tyrant. I guess what I might impart to the ranch is one of a strong expectation that everybody pull their weight. I don't think anybody can sit back and not contribute, because then the ranch suffers. So I'm hoping that we really bond as a whole community.
You are the eldest daughter of the Cook family. Your family's future hinges on your ability to pull together and build a new life on the cattle range. Your mother counts on you to assist her endeavors and looks to you and your sisters to help support the family. Your comfortable lifestyle in San Francisco is gone.
I think I can say I'm the practical one. Being the oldest can be hard sometimes because I feel like I have
more responsibility than they do.
Well, these aren't fully against the wall.
Well, how close are they? See? Told you. I'm the artistic one. I love reading and writing and filming and singing and dancing and all kinds of areas of performing arts. So I think I can be a little bit emotional sometimes. Well, how is it compared to this one? Like, are they the same length? This one actually I think is a bit longer maybe. Because then this one could go here. Right. And the longer one could go on that side.
So we should get a guy to help us.
Yeah. But we'll wait till we get other things settled before we try to set these things up and create more catastrophes.
Ladies, before you go planning on getting a guy to help you,
Yes. We're just brainstorming.
good. You're going to want to get me to help you. And if I need help, I'll get the guy to help you, okay? Just want to remind you of that.
Okay.
What is that rock for, by the way?
I don't know. It was just here.
You want it gone? I'm going to take this rock and move it. You don't need this
It's
rock.
quite heavy.
Hey, Dad, guess what?
What?
We have croquet.
Croquet, huh?
Uh-huh.
Under the baking midday sun, the cowboys unload the family's many possessions. They are starting to realize their lowly status within the strict ranch hierarchy.
Basically, we weren't introduced or anything. We just were told to go get the luggage, so we did. We probably walked about a mile and a half pulling all their luggage.
After Stan's oversight, the cowboys make their own introductions.
Hi, I'm Mr. Cook.
I'm
Johnny.
How you doing?
This is my wife, Mrs. Cook.
Hi,
Hi, nice to meet you.
Ian.
Ian.
Ian Robert, come in.
Nice to meet you.
Big howdy.
Howdy's what they call me.
Mrs. Cook.
Hello, nice
Hi,
to meet
nice
you.
to meet you. Your name again?
Sean.
Sean.
They call me Big Howdy, so
Big
it's your
okay.
pick.
Great.
So we'll just go ahead and finish the rest of this off.
Thank you so
How's it going?
much.
Thanks a lot.
How was your trip? Was it good?
Good trip. Sure good to be here.
Good.
Give it a little bit of time here to kind of get adjusted.
Just soak it in.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm here. I feel like it's 1867. I do. I'm gonna cry. It does. It feels like 1867. It's amazing.
We met the ranch family, and I think, basically, they don't look like they know much about ranching. But then again, I don't look like I know a lot about disco dancing, but I'm really quite good at it.
I'm fixing the mattress, Mr. and Mrs. Cook's mattress. I believe that's my bedroom, the kitchen, by the hearth. And I think that will really help me embrace my role as a girl of all work, which I understand is the lowest ranking member of the ranch community, second only to Howie the dog.
Wow. I'm coming.
Domestics, like Mora, were often Mexican girls hired locally, or single relatives who traveled out with the ranch family.
We could have a big party and feed a lot of people.
I know. Miss Cook and I dance between being friends and being a mother-daughter team and being the lady and her servant. And I think that these are all roles that we're going to experience this summer, and they're all roles that are going to cause some sort of new experience for both of us that we're not totally comfortable with, because we are essentially strangers. And I'm very different from the daughters that she's used to, and I hope that doesn't cause unbearable conflict for either of us.
And one of the things I want to make sure you're telling your boys about is that I got 3 daughters that I protect and care for dearly.
Mm-hmm.
So I want their honor to be guarded accordingly.
Well, if you'll give me the ground rules and the off-limits areas and stuff, I'll enforce it, and I think they'll abide by it.
I get a feeling of great joy thinking that I'm going to be the boss of this operation. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. I don't have to worry about something I might say that could be interpreted the wrong way. I get to lay down the law and determine the culture and the rules of how to operate the ranch.
Yeah, the ones that we have animals in right now, we went ahead and made some leather latches.
My initial impressions of Mr. Cook are that he's a businessman and he's interested in the business aspect of this venture.
Okay.
So I was trying to get some chain in here.
Mr. Cook's partnership with his foreman, Stan, is key to the success of the ranch.
When I first got here, the first thing I observed that as far as the colonel and I getting along, we got along great. We're similar of age. He's an ex-military guy of 32 years, I believe, retired. And I'd spent a couple years in the military, but I kind of understood how he thought. And so as the ranch owner, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get in the colonel's business about how he ran the ranch and in the hands that go with it.
I got the boys that can gather the cattle. If we just had some horses, we could go start finding them. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done around here before we're ready to go out full bore. Like, we
Yeah.
got to get this thing working
Yeah.
and stuff. But I think there's going to be plenty of cattle out here, and I think you'll find that the guys will work hard for you. And if not, then my boot will be in their butt. Got the family in now. We'll see how that develops. They seem nice enough, pleasant enough. Hopefully we'll get some horses to be able to ride and go get some cows.
Longhorn are the descendants of cattle first brought to the Americas by the Spanish in the 1500s. Hardy enough to thrive in the extreme Texas climate, they bred freely, and by 1867, several million maverick longhorn roamed the open range. Mr. Cook's challenge is to claim as many mavericks as possible and sell them at a price high enough to make a profit. But until the horses arrive, the operation is at a standstill.
What's next?
Well, I think let everybody cool off and get a little water, and then maybe go out there and see if we can't get another 2 or 3 holes dug today.
Even though the cowboys have spent hours unloading the Cook family's possessions, Stan keeps them digging post holes in 100-degree heat.
A glass of iced tea with real ice and would be real nice. Sweetened, and just a dash of lime would be great.
Probably the hardest day we've gone through so far. I think we dug out 13 posts, which is absolutely ridiculous because we started digging again the hottest part of the day, thanks to the Colonel. And so it was just overall very hard. And then lugging all that luggage for the ranch family, you know, a mile each way, it's a pain in the ass.
The chores continue. Sean's been sent to pick greens for tonight's communal dinner. A lush garden has been planted that could yield enough to supply the entire ranch community. But how the produce will be distributed will be at the discretion of Mr. and Mrs. Cook.
Picking lettuce mainly for the salad that we're going to have tonight with the new family. And to be honest with you, I don't know whose garden it is now, theirs or ours. I guess it's theirs, being the owners and everything. And I don't know what kind of access we'll have to the garden from this point on. My guess is that what we'll eat as cowboys from now on will probably be just mostly, you know, the regular beef and biscuits and beans kind of thing.
Okay, they got goat cheese, and they got that. Put the biscuits in this bad boy. Put him on his way. Kept it pretty simple.
Dude, I'd like us all to come down.
Yes, sir.
And like for you to come down too. Present them with their food.
Sure.
And then they want to make introductions.
Oh, very good.
And that way, then we'll get everybody to carry something down, and then you can tell them what they got for supper and stuff.
Excellent.
The cowboys carry dinner over to the ranch house.
Nacho, did you tell them what they had?
Yes, they got a little mixed green salad here with some radishes, and it's got scallions, and it's got a little vinaigrette on it. And you got the beef on a bed of mustard greens, which are kind of spicy, but I think you'll like it. It'll help you sweat a little bit and cool you off at the same time. And we got some cowboy beans here with some jalapenos in there, and then hopefully you like jalapenos. We got queso fresco and goat cheese here. We made it fresh this morning. And some biscuits. Hopefully they're not too burnt.
We could sure use a good meal.
I'm sure you had a long trip.
The cowboys had expected to eat with the family, but Mr. Cook decides they prefer to eat alone.
Good night.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us safely to this wonderful place. We ask you to bless this food to our bodies and give our thanks to the cowboys for providing it. Amen. All right.
I would say work with Nacho. Become good partners with Nacho about the food products we have around here.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think that we could arrange maybe for me to meet with him in his, maybe Maura and I could meet with him in his kitchen area and learn how he's set things up and...
To be honest, I don't know how closely we're going to be able to associate with Mrs. Cook, Mr. Cook, his daughters. I'm hoping that we'll be able to be on a real personable basis with them. The 21st century just kind of seems like a distant dream.
It's Sunday, and the Cook family has decided to hold religious services on the ranch. Everyone has been asked to attend.
We're just going to try to make our way through 2 verses and see how it goes.
And by faith we can see
sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore.
Well, welcome to everybody.
Thank you.
This is our first Cook Ranch worship service.
Remote and isolated ranches only had limited access to priests or preachers. Ranch owners would often conduct services themselves.
The best way to know yourself is to know the ones who came before you. We have an opportunity to know the ones who came before us. And I know in my case, my great-great-grandmother was born in Texas and raised her family and made her way. And the fact that she survived it and her kids survived it and their kids survived it means I'm here. I come from pretty good stock. Every single one of you who are sitting here come from really good stock. People who made it. Just know anything that you accomplish here, anything that you're doing during the day, that's because somebody came before you and they could do it, and I know that you can do it. They know that you can do it.
What the cowboys do know is that they have a lot more work to do.
Should we pace this off and just see how close we are to 10 foot?
The horses will arrive in 2 days, and the corral is far from finished. Jared's been left in charge, but not all the cowboys are taking the job seriously.
Hey guys, seriously.
Yeah, nothing else that you can
That post hits
find to
me,
do
you'll
with
be marking.
yourself to keep busy?
You're just marking. You don't need 4 people to mark.
Yeah, but I don't need 2 guys playing grab ass over here either.
Lieutenant Colonel, you got it.
I think that Jared tries too hard to step up and take a leadership role, which none of us respond to at all, just because the way that he does it is very similar to Stan, and his nickname at camp is Lieutenant Colonel. So, and he hates that.
Oh, you're gonna do me that way, huh?
You can grab ass when we want to.
Come on, guys. We're trying to
You're
get a job
marking.
done
You
here.
need 4 people to mark.
I don't need a post in my head either, Ian.
You get a post in your head, then say it. Keep working, man. Don't worry about us. Come on. Do it. All right. Keep going. We'll supervise you then.
All right. You want to be in charge?
Go ahead.
All right.
Fine job.
Mark, go ahead.
As I'm in charge, I'm pointing you to finish.
That's what I thought. That's the type of courage it takes to lead. Now, when I say something, I don't want you. I'm not being mean. I'm not asking you to do it because I want you to do it. It's just because it's what we got to do. All right. You said the first day that if we should say things to you. That's all I'm doing now. Because I'm giving you the honor. I'm giving you the honor and respect of that. So since you put me in charge, I'll do this.
I didn't put you in charge. I said, as I'm in charge, I point you to do that.
Sometime in the first 20 minutes of hole digging, Ian called me the Colonel. And I have to say, I was a little hurt. But not because I felt it was an insult. To me, it was like, okay, obviously you think I'm in charge right now, but because he thought it would be a dig at me.
Since the earliest days of ranching, cowboys have looked down on any work they couldn't do on horseback. And the Cook Ranch cowboys are no different.
There's a corral going. I saw you guys out there today.
Oh, we got one more post hole to dig.
One more to go?
One more to go.
All right.
I believe.
All right.
And then
that's a milestone. We got to have one of those.
I think Jared came up with an idea of some gates, and the guys have worked real hard on it there.
I know it's hot out there doing that.
After days of digging holes and sinking posts, the cowboys still have to attach the fence rails. It remains to be seen if they can complete the corral in time to hold the horses. The women are also getting a taste of the harsh realities of ranch work. Even though they had matches in 1867, they can't get a fire started.
I'm terrible at the fire. We are just barely getting our feet wet in terms of what it's taking to pull the house together.
What did you do?
I don't know. I put some sticks in there and it turned into coals. I just realized how all of us, at least in my family, this is a totally different demand physically than what our everyday life would be. I mean, my husband sits at a desk in an air-conditioned office and I'm at home and I'm doing things, but I mean, it's definitely not anywhere near as strenuous as this.
Thank you.
It just seems like the fire all around just should be bigger to start with or something.
Well, it is, but then it doesn't get tended.
I can't believe it's so hard.
At the bunkhouse, the cowboys enjoy a siesta and a chance to complain about their foreman, Stan.
The Colonel works before he used to just kind of sleep.
and then come out for a couple minutes, make sure we're still moving, then go back. And now he works every time he sees the ranch owner, and then he goes to sleep. So he comes out for a good 20 minutes a day now. So that's a plus.
I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that I'm making the calls down at the bunkhouse. But I'm also not naive enough to know that there's not a certain amount of sniping going on. In the military, when you got to go out and do a mission, that's when you want everybody pulling together. And they can bitch and moan and complain all they want until then.
Instead of using their free time to repair saddles and other tack, our cowboys feel a need for modern comforts, like leather pillows and slippers.
We're taking special orders. Aren't they cool?
Made myself a hurricane strap today. Did a little leather work here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a dragonfly symbol, I decided. I was really reluctant to put holes in my really awesome hat, but I just had to because the wind's been blowing a lot lately and the hat just comes right off. It's really distracting. You can't get anything done.
As far as the crew is concerned, I haven't really been able to too much assess things. I'm getting some somewhat conflicting information about who's pitching in and who's not pitching in, who's got the right attitude as far as hard work and so forth. They're energetic at times, but some of their energies are being focused on play instead of producing something.
He's got me! The tiger's got me! It's got me! Oh no! I can't make it! It's got me! Duh!
Some of the kids are pretty young, kind of immature. We'll see. We'll see how they come along.
The cowboys have managed to finish the corral just in time. The horses are on their way.
Colonel, want to get those men rounded up? We got a herd of remuda coming over the hill here. We're going to need them to help put them away.
Hey, Ian! Get the boys, tell them we got our remuda coming over the hill. We got to pin them up. Need everybody real quick. Let's go, Johnny, get your hat on. Let's go, let's get ready to work. You guys bring a couple of lassos in case we need them.
The remuda of 19 horses represents 1/4 of Mr. Cook's outlay. He's paid $460 for them. At today's prices, they're worth $50,000. Each cowboy gets to pick 3 horses to ensure no one horse gets overworked.
Hey, these ponies, do you?
In fact, the Spanish word remuda means change or replace. The cowboys are familiar with some of the horses, having ridden them during their training.
Robbie, pick you out a horse.
According to ranch hierarchy, Stan allows Robbie to make the first pick.
I'll take Bravo.
I'm gonna take the roan horse. Okay, Anders, you got yours picked? Slim, which one did you have?
Indio.
Indio? Ian, which ones you have?
Brownlow.
Brownlow? You're up, Howdy.
Yep, I'll take Hammer.
Okay, Hammer. This is Butter here?
Yep.
Put the cook down for Butter.
Johnny hasn't gone up yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny.
I'll take Traveler.
Traveler? I've got some notes on some of these horses there in the house, but I can't remember all of them. Bravo, the one that
Put
Top
him in
Hand
here.
got. He'll go all day, though, but he's a younger horse. Robbie picked him first. And as the top hand, I wanted him to get his choice. And that's why he went first over me. And that's just a sign of respect I have for him. Because
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Because I'd have taken that horse in the end.
I think everybody here would have taken that horse.
Well, they think they want him, so that's too
Yeah.
much. That's too much horse for a couple of those boys.
Yes, yeah.
And, a couple of boys got their feelings hurt now. They didn't particularly like the pecking order, but that's just the way it is. I fully suspect that we'll be changing some horses around, balancing them out, and some people are going to like how one of them rides and how the other one doesn't. Slim picked a pretty good horse, that Indio. That was going to be my second.
I was looking at that horse, too.
That's going to be my second pick. But I just want to try that roan one out first. And you know what? When it all comes down, Slim may not have that horse. I might have it. That's just the way it goes. But, all right, sir. That's kind of what we got cooking
All right,
right
well,
now.
it's
We're
good
gonna
news.
just
We got
check them all out.
our stock now.
All right, sir.
I think if you asked around who Stan liked the least, you'd probably get a pretty unanimous answer. And I think that was probably reflected in me being last choice for the horse picking. However, saying that, I'm actually quite fortunate. I've picked two pretty good horses. I don't know how, but I ended up with 2 pretty good horses, so things will have a way of working out for the better.
To succeed, our cowboys will have to develop a close working relationship with their horses. Cowboy legend says that however tight-lipped a man may be, he revealed his secrets to his horse.
I was delighted to find out that nobody had chosen Hammer. Hammer is a very energetic horse. He's got a mind of his own in some respects. He's going to take a lot of work. Tomorrow morning I'm going to have a chance to ride him, see what he does, see how he responds, and hopefully it wasn't a bad pick.
Before real cowboy work begins, Mr. Cook summons his hands to make an announcement. Every ranch had its own set of rules. They were usually simple and the penalties harsh. Gambling, drinking, or fighting would result in being fired on the spot. Mr. Cook lays down the law to his crew.
What I want to do is go over with you. This is the beginning of our first full week together. What I want to do is go over a few rules. I'm looking for truthfulness. I don't want anybody telling me lies or telling the colonel lies, or if something happens, you own up to it, you tell the truth. That's a big deal to me. I'm also looking for initiative. Whatever it is you see, it needs fixing, fix it. If you need help, ask for help. If you see somebody else who needs help, offer to help them. And the final desired attribute I'm looking for is how you relate to the family. Address the young ladies as Miss, or in the case of my wife, as Mrs. Cook. And followed up by yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. That's protocol. I'm looking for that. This is what'll get you fired. If you're lying, that'll get you fired. Failure to show respect to the women of the ranch, that's something else that'll get you fired. Or anybody who displays laziness, that's what kind of stuff will get you fired.
After days of manual labor, the cowboys prepare to go out on their first horseback ride. But their inexperience with horses shows itself immediately.
Whose horse was that?
Sean's. He had him tied up. It was just one of those stupid mistakes that you make. And those are the types of mistakes you can't afford to make out here. I had tied my horse wrong to the hitching rail. So when the colonel's horse pulled back, he turned loose. My horse was tied, so all he did was rip the hitching rail out.
Tie a horse off.
One of the guys had tied up his horse on the hitching post improperly to where the horse couldn't pull away from it. And as just about as we were getting ready to go, horse got spooked and pulled and tore apart the hitching post, pulled out both posts and tore it apart. So that particular hand was pulled aside by the colonel and given a lecture.
Sean, you need to get 2 new posts. Build us a new hitching post, please, sir.
You guys have a good ride.
As punishment, Stan bars Sean from the ride and orders him to repair the hitching post.
I try to look at myself in this group, and I don't know if any of that group would say I've come on hard or not. If they would say that, they don't know Stan Johnston.
Don't worry, Sean. It's not the end of the world.
I know.
They can't eat you, I tell you. A little bit more.
We finally got our horses. We were about to take them out for the first time and see the country. There's some significance to that first ride, and so I'm disappointed that I'm not going.
2 miles from the ranch, the cowboys make a welcome discovery.
After a long day, it's nice just to let loose every once in a while. I think that some of these guys take it too seriously.
When the horses arrived, it was like a new beginning. To me, it's like, all right, game on.
I think this experience is both